This is your girl Robin Shockley with Focus Forward Robin Show. We are here in Douglasville, Georgia at 4040 Chapel Hill Road, and I am so excited to be here at the Regina Sunshine Global Network today. We have an amazing show that's going to happen. I have Mr. Barry Williams in the house, Miss Keisha Rivers, and K-Chill Harris himself, and it's going to be a fabulous, fabulous show. But let me tell you a little bit about our sponsors and what's going on with the Focus Forward with Robin on the go. Our sponsor today is Heart of the Carolinas, which is located out of Malden, South Carolina. It is a home care service where we go into the homes and we cater to the senior citizens that might need that TLC, that extra touch. Maybe you have a mother or a grandmother or an aunt or an uncle or grandpa, and they just need somebody to spend some special time with them. Well, that's what we're here for, is to help service them. Maybe they need help go to the doctor, or maybe they need help with their medications. You would love to be able to connect with our company, Heart of the Carolinas. All you have to do is contact me, Robin Shockley, and I will get you hooked up with the right person. Another person that's our sponsor is actually 2 magazines. I am a publisher, writer for these magazines, which is Pain to Purpose, which is Tansy Roseborough's magazine, and also Your City magazine, which is with author Beverly Vercher. And I write articles in these magazines talking about people in the community, talking about a story, how to focus forward and move past your stuck mentality, basically what our show's about. So I actually put it in the form of the magazine. So if you're interested in getting your story out and you would love for me to write a column about your story, all you have to do is contact me and we can kind of work something out. Also, I wanted to tell you something very exciting that's going to be coming up this spring. Yours truly is going to be in a small mini film, which is going to be with Tony Wright, CIA Media, and I'm so excited. The name of this film is called My Valentine, and it's a romantic comedy, and that's all I can say about it, but it's going to be so good, and I'm so excited. And then today, we're going to talk about one of the plays that I'm featured in, and I'm so excited that Miss Keisha Rivers is going to come on the show and talk about it herself, and it's called Mama, They Didn't Mean It, and it's going to be so good. So we got a lot of things that are going on with the Focus Forward Robin. I'm on the go all the time. If you're interested in my services and getting your message out about whether you have a grand opening or you have a business or you just want your story, your pit to purpose story told, hit me up. I would love to connect with you. I'm on Instagram under Robin Shockley. I'm under Focus Forward Robin on Facebook and Robin Shockley on Facebook. And I would love to connect with you and maybe we can work something out. We're going to take a brief break, and when we come back, I'm going to have my very first guest on the show, Miss Keisha Rivers and Mr. Barry Williams, to talk about Mama, They Didn't Mean It. Welcome back, everybody. This is your girl, Robin Shockley, with the Focus Forward Robin Show here at the Regina Sunshine Global Network at 4040 Chapel Hill Road in Douglasville, Georgia. And I have two great guests that are with me today. We're talking about Pit to Purpose stories. And Miss Keisha Rivers, who is our guest today, is going to talk about her amazing play. And then also one of her actors that's in her play is going to talk, which is Barry Williams. So welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so glad that you're here. Keisha, first of all, let's talk about this play that's coming up. Tell us a little bit about the play.
Well, the play is actually based on my life, my
Okay.
childhood story, and it's based off of my book,
Okay.
Mama They Didn't Mean It, best-selling book on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. So it just talks about different trials and tribulations that I've overcome. And I want to share my story because someone else could be battling with some of the things that I've dealt with.
Exactly.
So I decided to turn it into a stage play for the world to see.
Okay, so when is this stage play taking place?
It's going to be Douglasville,
Okay.
Georgia.
Oh, right here.
Yes, right
Yes.
here. February the 29th, we have two shows, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m.
Okay.
At the Douglasville Conference Center.
Wonderful. Now let's talk a little bit about, we've got the play going on and you've written the book, but what inspired you to even write the book in the first place?
Well, writing is healing for me.
Okay.
So growing up, I really did not have the mentors that we had, we have today.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, nowadays we have our mentors, and I really wish back in the day I had those.
Yes.
But writing to me is a healing. It heals me.
It
So,
does me
yeah,
too. I
yeah.
love it. I love it.
Yep.
So did you find as you were writing that there were any complications?
There were complications, but I had an amazing publicist
Okay.
along the way because it was my first book. I had
Okay.
absolutely no idea what I was doing,
Okay.
but she told me to just continue to write.
Okay.
And the more I wrote, things would come to me. The more I
Okay.
wrote, healing would begin to take
Okay.
place. There was a lot of tears. There was a lot of angry nights. I was still angry. Things I thought that I had forgot about and forgave.
Yes.
Those emotions still came,
Wow.
back and everything. And it took me almost 10 years to really complete the book. Because
Really,
of the healing.
10
Yes.
years. That says a lot to me because
Yes,
I'm in the
almost
process
10.
of writing my story as well.
Congratulations.
And I thank you.
Yeah.
I've been writing it for 10
Yeah.
years now.
Yeah.
But just when I think I'm about finished, then another chapter
Right,
happens.
right.
And so I see what you're saying,
Yes.
about that because you shed a lot of tears. There's
Yes.
lots of emotions that go on and such. So when you got the inspiration to write the book, was it difficult for, because this is your life story.
It's
So
my
you're
life
talking
story.
about family
Yes.
and issues and stuff.
Yes.
So did you come through any complications of people even reading your book?
Well, what I can say is all of my family was not happy. That's why I chose not to tell names. Of course not. I
Yes,
wouldn't
change
do
the
that
names.
because those people are still living.
Yeah.
So I did decide to still go forth because it's my story, and
That's
I have
right.
every right to share my story, and I look at it as ministry to help the next person.
love it.
I don't take anything back. I don't regret it. I'm so happy that I went through with it.
I love it. I love it. That is wonderful. So let's talk about the people because you have different stages of your life.
Yes.
You have different age groups
Yes.
that you go through. So let's talk about the young age.
Yes, the young age.
The young Keisha.
The young Keisha. So with the young Keisha, that's when I began to realize that certain things that people did to me, they weren't normal.
Okay.
Because my father and my mother didn't do those things to me. So young Keisha was not only young Keisha and a child, she wasn't dumb.
Yeah, okay.
So I knew certain ways my father touched me. I knew a man wasn't supposed to, touch me like my father, he didn't touch me like that.
Okay.
So he set an example, a positive example, a true man of God.
Yeah.
So when those people did that to me, I knew that was not normal
Wow.
because that wasn't a daddy's touch. So child Keisha goes through keeping everything in
Wow.
with child Keisha because I was so scared.
And what was the age? What was the age?
As far as I can go back is about eight years old.
Really?
8, 9 years old.
Wow.
As far as I can go back.
Wow.
And then she experiences different things.
So then as Keisha gets into her teenage years, what takes
Yes.
place then?
A whole lot takes place. Just the bullying from school,
Okay.
the depression, the suicidal thoughts
Okay.
that I would have, the jealousy, the
Wow.
betrayal, rape,
Wow.
different things that teenage Keisha had to deal with.
So then as an adult, did the adult Keisha go through some things too?
Adult Keisha went through a lot. Adult Keisha
Okay.
began to go through rage and
Okay.
temperament and fighting and stress. you know,
Okay.
over things that I did not heal from. So
Okay.
the adult Keisha really went through all of that.
So how did Keisha get through the stages of her life, keeping everything shut in and keeping quiet and not bringing exposure? Because of course you were trying to be one, as a kid, you didn't know any better,
Right.
and then as a teenager you're just trying to figure things out, and then as an adult it's like you're still trying to keep it silent and quiet because
Right.
you don't want to expose any negativity. You
Right.
don't want to mess the home up, the family up, and all
Right.
that. So how did Keisha get her freedom?
Well, the main way I got my freedom was because my father was a pastor. Well, he still
Okay.
is. But he taught us faith and prayer.
Okay.
So a lot of things I dealt with in silence because I did not want to per se rat my family out, even though
Yeah.
it wasn't my immediate family.
Yeah.
I just was taught to, you keep this in house, you keep this home, this is what you need to do, and be that pretty face in the streets. So that's the life I lived until I realized I was a ticking time bomb, and I just could not take it anymore, and I decided to write to heal.
So when you came to a place of that ticking time bomb, when was that moment? When do you think that moment was like, enough is enough, I can't deal with it anymore?
I would say my mid-20s.
Really?
Yeah, I would say my mid-20s.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say around that time.
Okay.
Just dealing with different relationships and then having flashbacks with that.
Yeah.
With that. And I realized that it came from a lot with my past.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about age right now,
Right.
but you're not in your 20s anymore.
No.
So, you've got some age on you and stuff. So over the last several years, of your growth period in your relationship, with God,
Yes.
And with people and with family and stuff, how do you think that it's helped you to move past those issues? Because the whole purpose of your book, you have to deal with it and get to the root of
You
it,
have to.
but you have to move forward as well, so that way you can begin anew.
Right,
You're a
exactly.
new life of Keisha.
Right,
So how do you think that that you were able to get to deal with that as the years gone? Has it helped you? Have you still had some triggered thoughts?
Well, I think that for me, the triggers will probably always try to be there.
Okay.
But that's just a distraction. And I
Okay.
had to realize that.
Okay.
But what helped me was when people would tell me, Keisha, I've seen your, this was before I wrote my book.
Okay.
I've seen your life. You've grown so much. You inspire me.
Yeah.
So when I hear someone say that,
Yeah.
that keeps me motivated.
Wow.
And then with my own son, I'm a mother.
Yeah.
And for him to tell me, Mommy, you're the best mom, this and that, he kept me going.
Wow.
So it was the inspiration and the motivation
I love
of
that.
him and others.
I love that. I love that. So Keisha, with everything that you've been through, and then you wrote the book,
Yes.
and then during the process of you writing the book, you were also an actress. So tell us a little bit about your acting career, because of course that's how this play ended up coming about, I'm sure.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit. When did you start into being an actress?
In middle school,
Okay.
I tried out for a singing part. I didn't even know I could sing, but my music teacher, I love her. Shout out to Miss Mary Keating. She saw the gift in me with acting as well. So I
Okay.
had a little rap part in A Christmas Carol, and I fell in love with that. And then from there, in grade school, and then also my younger adult years, I just fell in love with acting. People would just
Wow.
point me out and say, okay, I heard about you. I want you in my play. Sometimes it would pick me up. Shout out to Fred Bowers for picking me up at home, carrying me to the play rehearsals.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the thing is, through that, not only are you an actress, oh my gosh, let's do the titles, because I can't even read all the titles. I had to write everything down because you have so many titles, but the titles you should be so proud of, because with what hell you've been
Right,
through,
right. Let's keep it real.
yes, what hell you've been through, and you still persevered, you still
Yes.
pressed through all that. So tell us some of the things that that you have going on today.
Well, what inspired me the most with everything that I deal with is my own organization. I am Flavor Productions. And Flavor is basically putting your talent on the forefront. What is your talent? A variety of categories: music, fashion, theater. The same people like me, the struggles that I went through, wanting to be a part of a family, coming from adoption and different things like that. We created a atmosphere for them to feel like their family.
Wow.
When you unite with me, you're my family. I don't look at
So
you
I'm
any
your
different.
family
Yes,
because
you are my
I'm in your play.
You are, and I was very picky about my cast, but yeah, so that's what keeps me going with I Am Flavor Productions, and then what came under that was a whole lot of other stuff
Yeah.
that I didn't even know that would come out of that production.
That was birth. That is amazing because the thing is you had a vision and you had a dream.
Right.
And the thing is you didn't even know when you were a young girl in middle school
Right.
just starting out acting what God was going to put in you, that
Right.
creativity to spruce forward and to
Yes.
blossom.
Yes.
I love that. So through this we have a play now.
We have the play.
We have the play, and so you got several different people that are in it, and we have
Yes.
one of our guests with us
Yes,
here
we do.
today. Hi, Barry. Tell us what role you're playing in Mama They Didn't Mean
So
It.
I am Keisha's friend's brother,
Okay.
and Mama, I didn't mean it.
Okay. And you're smiling, but in this play, you've already informed me that you're not a good
I
good
think
person.
I'm a good guy.
You're not a good guy.
No, I think I'm yeah, just not a typical teenage kid
Okay.
or a young adult. Yeah, he has some emotional issues, and he's definitely damaged himself.
Wow. Okay. Have you how long have you been acting?
Whew. I'm older now, so out of high school.
You look like a baby.
out of
honey.
high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, in high school I started,
Okay.
and of course life in college, some college, and then life took over,
Okay.
and I went down some rocky roads.
Really?
And,
Tell
just
us
started
about
back.
those rocky roads. I mean, if you want to
Well,
share
that's
a little
fine.
bit.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I went from wanting things.
Okay.
So, selling drugs
Okay.
and hurting people, not doing the right things, and then becoming an addict myself.
Wow. Okay.
So I felt like becoming
Were
an
you
addict.
acting during this time?
No.
No. Okay.
I was just working jobs, trying to take care of my oldest son.
Okay.
At the time, I had my first child at 22. So
Okay. So you were just trying to make it. Is what
yeah,
you
at
were
that
doing.
point, yeah, just trying to make it,
And life just had pulled you down.
yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was God's way of saying, you know what, you destroyed so many lives. Now it's time for you to
Oh, wow.
get back what you took.
Wow. But His grace is always sufficient.
Yes.
Always,
And
always.
He's a God of the second chances.
Yes,
and
He
that's
is.
what I
Amen.
love Him so much because Lord knows He's given me more than
And me too.
second chances.
Right.
Yes. So
Definitely.
how did you get back on track? What caused you to get back on track with life?
Went to rehab.
Okay. How did you go to rehab? Did somebody tell you you needed to go to
I
rehab?
was tired.
Okay. When you say you
I
were
was
tired, what does that mean?
Tired of being poor. Tired of
Okay.
just feeling inadequate. Tired of
Okay.
having people who looked up to me still looking up to me and living a lie.
Wow.
So I got tired of being a lie,
Okay.
a walking lie, and that I didn't feel good. I felt empty
Wow.
every day. So
Well, so Keisha has shared about some people that have been positive influences in her life. Did you have anyone in your life that was positive
definitely,
influences?
yeah. God first and foremost.
Yes.
My mother and father,
Wow.
my brother, and my kids, and my child's mother, my youngest child's mother. She's really the one who really saw something in me, I guess, and was like, "You can do it. Why haven't you been doing it?" And
Wow.
it got me back in
So
that
you
game.
had somebody in your corner to help push you along to believe in you.
Yeah.
So that matters so much. But what about the people that don't have somebody in their corner? How can you guys say something positive to them to help them focus forward? Because you come from a great home, and even though you dealt with the hell that
Right.
you dealt with, and you had people in your corner, but you dealt with a lot of hell because you had to face these oppositions yourself, and you had to deal with your own demons, so to speak.
Right.
So what about the people that are alone and they have nobody? How would you encourage them?
I will say that the process is necessary.
Okay.
That's what I will say. We do sometimes feel like we are alone, which we are, but during that process,
Okay.
it's not going to end like that. If we choose for it not to
Yeah.
end like that,
Yeah.
we have choices.
Yeah.
But that process is definitely necessary.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, so you've been acting for a while. You've been acting for a while. You've got something going on also that you're doing,
Yes.
not just this play. Tell us about. I know we can't talk a lot about it, but tell us a little bit what's going on with you.
Um,
What else?
Wow, I just got casted into the Life Jennings story.
Yeah.
It is going to be an ongoing TV series.
Okay.
We just shot it a few days ago, and I'm in a few scenes in it, and I'm excited about it. Super
Wow.
excited.
So how did you land that? How did you even know about it? And first of all, tell people who Life Jennings
Yes.
is, because we have viewers that don't know who that
Life
is.
Jennings is a R&B superstar, and he has a phenomenal story that he overcame to get where he's at now.
Okay.
And he has also been on VH1. What is it? Love and Hip Hop
Love and Hip
Atlanta.
Hop.
Okay,
So
yeah.
He's huge. He's a big deal.
Okay,
He's a
okay.
big deal and
Yeah.
such a humble soul. If you ever get to meet this guy,
Yeah. Well, maybe we
So
can make
humble.
that happen, and I can get an interview.
yes, ma'am.
Yes. So tell us, how did you get casted to be a part of that?
It's a great question. So I saw that they had several castings. I sent a video audition initially.
All right.
Didn't hear anything back. Then my girlfriend's like, you know what? We're not gonna give up. So we saw that they had a third casting
Wow.
call here in Atlanta. So we drove from Huntsville, Alabama,
Wow.
and got in the car, came down, did it. And it's crazy because the role that I auditioned for
Uh-huh.
initially is not the role that I actually got.
Really?
So they asked me to come back in and do a audition for another role.
Okay,
Went in.
okay.
She came back out and was like, "Well, we'll call you
Yeah.
if we want you for a tape read tomorrow." So she came out of the room to tell me that,
Wow.
which was good, indication that I may have it, but
Wow.
it was still nerve wracking. My anxiety was on 100.
I love it. And you're
Wait.
not. So you're not from here. You're
No.
from Alabama.
Yeah, I'm country.
Okay, we got a country
That's
boy.
right.
Hey, we got a country boy in the house. I'm
And a country girl.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, 'cause
Shout
I'm
out to
from
Reddick, Florida.
Yeah, and I'm from a little town called Berea
Yes.
in Greenville, South Carolina. But I love this, and what is so cool is because both of you, you are professional actors and actresses, and the thing is that you give God glory. Both of you are doing that
Man.
for your advancement and your growth. But how would you encourage somebody to step out of and that boldness and that courage to say, if they're wanting to have that dream to act, what would you say to them to say, hey, go for it, go for the gusto, and make it happen?
You
How would
have to believe, first of all,
Okay.
first and foremost. You have to believe. Like he took the initial step for that third casting. He didn't have to go to that, but he
Yeah.
believed it. They dealt with him, and now he's there. You first have to believe that it can
Yeah.
happen for you.
I love
you know?
it. Yeah.
Me getting rid of all the things in your life that are poison. Let them go. Try to figure that out.
Yeah.
And then also, as she said, believe, because it's somebody who is acting who has 50% of your talent that's making it.
Wow.
But they're out there doing it because
Yep.
they're actually doing it.
Yep.
Yes.
So you can sit on the sideline all day and believe in, but faith without works is dead.
That's
Amen.
right.
And I'll
That's
tell
right.
you, this is what I always say. This is my motto: is you think a thing, you believe a thing. If you believe
Right.
a thing, you're gonna achieve it. And that is what is so cool, because you first have to transition that thought.
Yes.
Because you have it's like a weighing balance, because you can choose to think
Right.
this way, or you can choose to think this way. And once you make that right choice to think this way, then it's easier to believe
Right.
it. And then once you can believe it, then you're gonna definitely walk it out and achieve it, just like you guys are doing. I love it. This has been so amazing. I'm so
Thank you.
glad that you guys took the time to be on the show. Tell us about Mama They Didn't Mean It. Tell us again the times and the date and the location.
Okay. So Mama, thank you. So Mama They Didn't Mean It stage play is going to take place February the 29th.
Okay.
And that's going to be at 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. And our VIP is actually almost sold out. You can purchase tickets on eventbrite.com. It's going to be held right here in Douglasville at the conference center in the auditorium portion.
Okay.
Again, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m.
And then something's going on Thursday night, because I'm here in
Yes.
Douglasville today, and I'm driving back down on Thursday again.
yes.
What we got going on Thursday?
We have the cast of Mama They Didn't Mean It. So if you want to meet the cast, you
us.
can come. We're going to have a little party, a little celebration, meet and greet, and everybody's going to introduce themselves, and we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, so make sure if you're watching this show today, you share this information. We want you in the house. We
Yes.
want you to see this play. We want you to bring somebody.
Yes.
Even if you have a youth girl, that would be awesome to
Yes.
bring a youth boy or youth girl to
Yes.
come, because you don't know what they could be going through in silence and
Exactly.
what they're dealing with. And
Exactly.
they need this. I'm telling you, the first time that I went to a stage play, it transformed me because I was holding in so much baggage, so much hurt. And then I went to my girlfriend, Utrina Kershaw, I don't know if you know her, but she does gospel stage plays. And I went to her stage play, and it literally released something out of me.
Yes.
I cried the whole time
Yes.
because, you know, even though some of the scenes were not personal to me,
Right.
I took them personal because I could make myself relate
Right,
to them.
right.
And it brought so much healing. So I
Yeah.
know through this play there's going to be so much
Yes,
healing to come
it
forward.
is. And we're definitely having an altar call. That's a big
Oh,
thing
wow.
too after the production.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited. Thank you, Barry, and thank you, Keisha, for being on the
Thank
show
you.
today. Can y'all stay a few minutes because we got our
ma'am.
next guest coming, and we're going to talk briefly at the end.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. This is Robin Shockley with Focus Forward. Robin on You Never Know Where I Am, and I am here in Douglasville, Georgia, at the show of Regina Sunshine Global
Yay,
Network.
Gina.
And guys, this has been a great. We got a next guest coming up, and he's also an actor as well. He's done some phenomenal things, but this guy has definitely got a pit story, and he's making purpose with his life. He has made such an impact in Atlanta, and I cannot wait to have Kay Chill on the show in just a moment. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. This is your girl, Robin Shockley, with the Focus Forward Robin Show here at the Regina Sunshine Global Network at 4040 Chapel Hill Road in Douglasville, Georgia. I'm so excited about my next guest. I cannot wait to dig in to hear about his story. I've got Kay Chill, Kelvin Harris in the house.
What's up? What's
Yes, I'm so glad that you're here with me today.
Thanks for having me. You
Let
know,
me
you've been
talk
waiting.
about, I always like to mention something, how I met you. I remember how we met. You probably don't even remember me meeting you. You think I met you at the award show that you did, the third Actors Annual Award Show. No, I met you before that.
Oh.
Because I was Regina's publicist, media publicist at the Apex when Professor Griff came.
Okay.
And you were there serving and everything, and I met you there. and I remember your generosity and your kindness. You wanted to make sure I had plenty of food to eat, and you're like, oh, we got to get her food. We got to get her food, because I was running all over the place doing interviews.
Right.
You don't even remember that, but you do remember meeting me at the Actors Awards,
Yes, I do.
because we did an interview afterwards. I remember staying
And
after.
you helped me clean up.
I helped you clean up. So, yes, I remember
clean
that.
up.
Yeah,
Good
that was
people.
fun. So, I was so glad. I was so nervous to be at that event, too, because that was my first. I had done many red carpets, but that was the first red carpet that I had done for actors,
Right.
with film and all that, and as
Right.
big as that was. And that was pretty big.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yes,
it. Glad you came.
yes, and we're going to dig in and we're going to talk about how that even came about.
All
Okay,
right, all right.
but first, let's talk about who. Let's talk about Kelvin Harris. Let's talk about this man, because we know you as, everybody knows you as K Chill.
Right.
But let's talk about who Kelvin Harris is.
The man, the myth, the legend. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just a regular guy.
Okay.
That just I do a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Going back to when I first came, 1995.
Okay.
From Racine, Wisconsin. What's up, Racine? People checking in.
Wisconsin.
Racine, Wisconsin.
I
where
don't think
it's
I
cold.
hear. I don't even think I hear that state's name much.
They be like, where is that? they have black people?
Yeah.
So yeah, came here to pursue, with his music
Okay.
game, and used to do all kind of music.
Because you used to do rap. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
I used to
All
be-
right.
I came here to pursue music, and I
Okay.
used to rap in the hallways at school.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm gonna go meet Outkast and I'm gonna blow up. I had this
Okay.
crazy dream, and it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, right. Okay.
Okay.
They call me-
Everybody has a
They
dream
call
when
me
they come to
crazy.
Atlanta,
They said,
don't they?
yeah, right. Okay, whatever. You don't know nobody in Atlanta.
Okay.
You don't have no money. Like, yeah, what are you gonna
Well,
do?
wait a minute. Let's pause for a minute. You didn't have no money in Atlanta. What are you going to do? What gave you the audacity to say, okay, I'm going to jump? We've talked about that a lot on my show. People
Right.
stepping out in faith and taking that step and that courage. What caused you to say, hey, okay, I'm just going to go. I'm going to go for it.
Well, it started out with a couple of friends that knew people here and
Okay.
had relatives, and they
Okay.
was like, "Yo, we moving to Atlanta. You want to come?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm down."
Okay.
So I gave away my apartment, car, quit my job, everything. 'Cause I was gung ho. I was like, "Yo, they got me."
Wow.
The day of, these cats canceled on me, and I was like,
After you done gave everything
I
away?
gave everything
Oh my
away.
gosh.
I bet the farm on their word. The day of, they canceled. I was like, I can't turn back now.
Wow.
And they didn't have the dream and the vision and the faith that I had. So I had, about $300. So I had enough to buy me a Greyhound bus ticket, and I took that faith leap, and got that Greyhound bus ticket. And as we're pulling into Atlanta, I see the big city, because I come from Little Racine,
Yeah.
we ain't had no tall buildings and that.
Yeah.
I saw the big city, and saw the homeless people on the sidewalk as we was pulling in, and that scared me. Because
Really?
I was realizing then that if I failed,
Because you were coming not knowing anybody.
not knowing nobody,
Wow.
I didn't know a soul in ATL. And when I saw those homeless people, I said, can I be out there with them if I fail?
Wow. How old
And
were you, Kelvin?
I was about 19. I think I was just turning 20 when I
Wow,
came
so
here.
you wasn't even legally.
I wasn't even legal, right.
Wow.
You know what? No, I think I just turned 21 because I
Okay.
went to Fat Tuesday. I do remember that.
Okay.
Because when I got off the Greyhound bus, locked my stuff in the locker,
Mm-hmm.
and when a homeless guy was like, hey, you look like you're a tourist. If you buy me a six-pack, I'll show you what's popping. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. No one ain't had the money. But I was like, okay. Went and bought him a six-pack.
Oh, wow.
He showed me Fat Tuesday. I go down there, and it's my birthday weekend, so I'm like, I'm finna party. Didn't even have a hotel, didn't know nothing, but I wasn't worried. I just had this faith that I knew God was gonna have me some kind of way.
Wow.
Didn't know how.
Have
didn't
you
know-
always knew that about God?
You know what? He never let me down. Like
Yeah.
no matter what situation I ever been in, he never let me down. So yeah, I had this blind faith that
Yeah.
the size of a mustard seed. You know how they always say you
Yes,
gotta have
yeah.
faith of a mustard seed. So
Exactly.
to bungee and come down on a Greyhound bus with less than $300 in my pocket and didn't know a soul. It was
Wow.
all God. It was faith.
Wow.
And so one
It was
thing,
courage.
definitely courage.
Definitely
'Cause
courage.
I was scared. Now I ain't gonna lie and
Yeah.
say I almost didn't punk out, but
Yeah.
you know, I I toughed up, and one thing led to another. I met some cool people, and it was like, yeah, well, there's this barber shop, because I was a barber, and it was like, you know, we know this guy who has 4 barber shops, Hair Masters, so I got connected with Mr. Bell from Hair Masters,
Okay.
and he gave me this job at this barber shop. So
Okay.
that weekend, you know, the couple I met, they was like, we're going to take you on our wing, we're going to show you around. They was like,
Yeah.
what hotel you at? I was like, I don't have one. They was like, well, we got you. We're going to take you on our wing.
Wow.
So I'm like, man, look at God. You
Wow.
know, just showering down on me. And all this is going to be in this Easy Pain True Life Story movie that I'm doing. So,
Okay, we're gonna talk about that in a
right.
minute.
So I meet Mr. Bell. I go to this barber shop. He said, you can start Monday. And now remember, my mission to come down here was to meet Outkast, right?
Okay.
So who comes in the barber shop? Andre 3000. This is the barber shop he get his hair cut at. He walks in, and I'm like, this is crazy.
So the whole
So-
purpose for you was to come down here to meet them.
Meet Outkast, get signed, and blow
Yeah, and all
up, you know.
that.
And so
And then there was a little turn because you saw the people on the street, the homeless. See,
Yes.
I really believe that God leads us down a path or allows us to go down a path for us to understand and learn a lesson.
Yes, right.
So what do you
And-
think that lesson could have been that you learned because you didn't go straight to Outkast, even though you got to them,
Right.
but you didn't go straight to them? What do you think
Right.
your lesson was?
my lesson was that just because you have a dream and you try to pursue something, it don't always turn out the way that you plan it. Because, yeah, I got to meet Outkast, and I met others, Jazzy Faye, CeeLo Green, Wingo from Jagged Edge, all came to that barber shop. So I got to get connected to the industry in Atlanta
Yeah.
through that. And then seeing the homeless people did something to my heart. So after that, I said, as soon as I'm in position, I want to do something, and I didn't know
Okay.
what. I never set out to be no founder and CEO of a nonprofit.
I know. What's the name of it?
Feed the Hungry USA
Okay.
in 2013. It was like God just put it in my heart, said you're gonna do a nonprofit, and I was like thinking, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to feed no homeless. You know, I don't know what to do. So
didn't
one thing
either.
led to
Yeah.
another. I reached out to V103 and the community effort. Everybody started pitching in. Next thing you know, Feed the Hungry USA was growing.
Yeah.
And I was the founder CEO, and we was feeding the homeless since 2013
Okay.
for 6 years in front of City Hall every Sunday at 12 o'clock, 12 sharp, and they were lined up, and people started
Wow.
bringing food, toiletries. Next thing you know, I was doing charity concerts, and we slept outside with the homeless. And just because I saw them coming in on that Greyhound bus, it did something to me.
The thing is that that was that mustard seed.
That was that
God
seed.
planted that mustard seed in you, and it grew. And the thing is, I believe my grandma always told me that God will give us creative and witty ideas. That's scripture. I don't know exactly where it is in the Bible, but it says God gives us creative and witty ideas. And so that's exactly what I feel like God was doing for you, that he was giving you a creative and witty idea to bring it into fruition. Because like you said, one thing started just with having that thought. That's what we talked about earlier.
right.
You think a thing, you believe a thing, then you're going to achieve it. And that's exactly what you were doing.
That's right.
So you did all this stuff for the homeless, and you had that was not your intention
No,
whatsoever. It just
not at
came
all.
to you.
I had no clue, no
Wow.
thought about running a nonprofit. And,
Yeah.
But I think that was like because I was obedient and listening to telling me that this is what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like I had planned to do other stuff, but once he said you're gonna do that, then that's what I was doing. So in return, I was blessed. I got here in 1995. It took me 1 year, and I had 2 hit records on the radio. Next year, 96.
Wow.
So-
what were the records?
The record that set it off, K Chillin' Tetris, we actually formed a group.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2 hit records at the same time
Wow.
and in 1 year.
Wow.
Well, if that ain't God,
Yeah. Wow.
there's nothing I could have done by myself.
So the thing is that this thing that what do you think this creativity, and we know it come from God, but what do you think did somebody instill anything in you, or is it just something that you learned on your own?
You know what? I think it was just one to have to see. I came from nothing, and so that's what I try to when I go to schools and speak to kids. I try to say, because I never knew my real father, so
Okay.
I'm one of those kids. When I talk to
Okay.
the fatherless kids and
You're the
didn't
example.
didn't have a great relationship with mom,
Okay.
and so I try to curve people or kids from using that to be a failure, a drug dealer in prison. I tell them I was just like you. So if I came from nothing and made something out of nothing, then you can too. And that's my
I love
message when I
that.
talk
I
to the
love
kids.
that.
So I try to use everything that I've done in my life to
As an
show them
example.
that you can do this too. Because I didn't have no backing. I didn't have no big entourage of people that I knew. And I came here, and I know some people that was from Atlanta was like, who the hell is this guy that coming to my city and blow up before me? And, they was looking like,
Yeah.
dude, you ain't even from here. How you get radio play before us? So, I know some
God.
people was like, who, he
Yeah.
got some nerve.
Favor.
Like, who is this guy? And so, I just wanted to give back in every way I can because I was blessed.
Okay.
And it don't matter, like material stuff.
And the thing is, too, like I said, the first time that I met you, like I said, you don't remember it, but the first time that I met you, you had that servant's heart. And so I picked that up just by, Regina knows me. I'm real big into signs, and I pay attention to the impressions of people leave with me and stuff. So the impression that I got from you, just that first encounter where you were just trying to serve me food, I pay attention to that because I have a servant's heart too. And so I look at people that love to serve other people, and I picked that up from you. And then when I was asked to come to the awards that you did, and I saw how excellent it was. It
Thank you.
wasn't
Appreciate it.
done in perfection. It was done in excellence. And I saw how everything was done so great, and you just had that servant's heart to showcase people. That's big because not everybody has, people's out for themselves.
Right.
People want to, do for them and not want to, in this world today, especially no offense to Atlanta, but a lot of people in Atlanta, they literally looking out for themselves. I'm sorry. I'm from Greenville, so I can say that. But I will say, with you stepping out of the box, so to speak, and you chose to think of other people in this point to do something for them. So you keep having these creative things that you're doing, this creativity to want to be a blessing to other people, to help them. But now you're in a season that K-Chill is doing something for himself. He's done all this all these years. Tell us what you're working on today for K-Chill.
Well, and touching on what you said, we can't forget the Educators Awards.
Oh.
I showcase the teachers, the
Okay.
principals, and people that didn't get the praise.
Okay.
The educators, the actors, the homeless, and so now I had to step back. A lot of
Okay.
people were saying, "When is the fourth annual coming?" and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've been putting off my book, Ease the Pain, and my movie. I've been putting it off each year. I put it to the side to do the award show.
Okay.
So now it's time for me to do me. I have to do the Ease the Pain book. I have to do the movie, and I
It's
can't.
the time.
I
It's
can't
the
have
time.
no
Because you can't.
distractions.
This is part, and this is what I've learned in the last 2 years of my life when I had to go through this transition. Because I thought legacy was all about your birth seed and talk about family and all that. But your legacy is not that. Legacy is anybody that you make an impact and a transformation in their life. And so this is what you're doing. You need to write out your legacy now.
right.
Because
That's right.
everything that you've been through and the things that you've accomplished, now you're making purpose with it by sharing the story through the documentary, through the book and
Right.
stuff. So I'm really excited for you and proud of you for that. And Regina knows I had a ministry, and it was an outreach, and it was called Girls Gifted for God. And I think of you, I'm thinking guys gifted for God, because you were talking about you go into the schools and and you help these youth kids, especially the boys, and mentor them and let them know, that they can have a purpose just like, that you did.
Yeah.
And even when we don't even understand what, is going on in our life, and we go through trials and we go through tribulations and we don't understand, God's always working on our behalf. He's always working in our favor. And so what is something that you could say to somebody to encourage them, Kelvin, to look beyond their stuck mentality right now and to get past that, to focus forward into what their dream is, or even tap into that creativity side?
Well, it's pretty simple. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see the saying, I believe in the impossible, therefore I'm possible.
Yeah.
So when people say it's impossible, you can't do it, I just always tell people, go check out my page, because I'm possible. I made it happen, and you can
Yes,
too.
that's
So
right.
anything is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem like you're a great cheerleader to help encourage other people, and I love it. And when we came into the building, you know, Keisha greeted you, and she's like, "Oh yeah, K Chill's in the building." You know, he already has his thing. You know, and so everybody in Atlanta knows you, and it's so funny because you're not even from here. So you know what? People are learning to know me too.
Right.
So and I'm not from here, so
That's
who
right.
knows? I may just move down to Atlanta.
That's right, because you're
Yeah.
doing your thing. And
Regina's been telling me, Robin, you need to get down here.
and I love your show, so I just want to tell you, I've been
Thank
supporting
you.
and watching, and
I appreciate that.
you're natural. Watch
Thank
out,
you.
Oprah. You better watch out.
I'll work alongside Oprah. I'd love and honor that. Well, we're going to have a brief break, and then we're going to have Keisha, and then we're going to have Barry come back. But is there anything else that you want to add to this, to today that you want to showcase or say, or anything positive to just to get the word out about anything?
Just encourage people that's trying to pursue anything. Just never listen to what people say when they say you can't do it, you can't
That's
achieve
right.
it, it's too big, you dream too big. That's foolishness.
That's
You know,
right.
Tyler Perry showed you. Take my story. And when the Ease the Pain book and the movie come out, a lot of people don't even know back in Wisconsin how I came to be. And accomplish all this stuff. So the
Wow.
book and the movie is going to tell everything, like
I love it.
all of it. So
I
just
love
be on the
it.
lookout. It's been
Yeah.
a long time coming.
Yeah,
But,
and when you feel comfortable enough, it
Yeah.
really would mean a lot if you give me that hat.
Oh, okay.
Because
I mean, I got a fresh,
I love me some
fresh
bling.
haircut.
I don't want to take your hat, but I do want that hat, or I want one like it.
All right,
I love
I
it.
got you. I
Okay,
definitely
you
got
got
you
me?
that because
Okay.
I was selling them too. I was
Oh, really?
people that have BMWs, whatever.
Okay.
I sold a few already.
All
so,
right.
yeah.
Well, I love the hat. I love
Thank
the hat.
you.
I'm a
Appreciate
hat chick. I love hats. So this has been a great, great show. And thank you so much, Kelvin, for coming on here, sharing your story.
Thank
It
you for
means
having
so
me.
much to me. And I'm excited to see what God's doing next in your life and where you're going. I want to talk really quick about a book that I'm writing. Keisha talked about her book. Kelvin's talking about his book's going to be coming out. Well, yours truly is writing a devotional book. My publisher is author Brandy Hunt, and I'm so excited because she's really been holding me accountable for a long time now. And just like Keisha, I have been trying to write my book, my story, for like over 10 years now as well. And it seems like another chapter keeps getting added. But so in the pause of that, I'm writing my devotional book, and it's called Catching the Vision While You Walk in Your New, Brave, and Bold. It's a 30-day devotional where there'll be challenges, and there'll be a prayer, and there'll be short messages. Some of it will be a personal story of mine, and some of it will just be examples of things that, I've experienced or other people I know have experienced. So I'm really excited, and it's not just for women. So you got to get the book, guys.
support.
Y'all got to get the book. Show the
Get my
support.
copy.
I'm really excited about it because, there's so many people that have a dream and they have a vision to become an author, or they have a dream and vision to become an actor or a film producer or something, or a TV talk show host. And all they need is just that courage and that boldness to say that they're going to step out and have that faith to believe in themselves.
right.
Because some people we talked about earlier, they don't have that. And that's kind of like what you said, that you just got it in your head that you were determined.
Determined.
So what can you say to somebody to help them to focus forward out of their stuck mentality? If they have a dream and a vision, how can they focus forward?
Never allow somebody to tell you what you cannot do. You just make it happen because they don't believe in they don't ever have to believe in your dream and your vision. As long as you see it, you make it happen.
That's
They
right.
don't have to see it. Nobody saw my visions and my dreams, but I made them see it anyway.
That's right. I love it. You
yeah.
made it happen.
Made it happen.
Awesome. Guys, this is Robin Shockley with the Focus Forward Robin Show. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be right back. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to have Barry back on. We're going to have Keisha, and we're going to have Kelvin, and we're going to end this up with some more positive motivation on the Focus Forward Robin Show with the Regina Sunshine Global Network. We'll be right back. everybody. This is your girl, Robin Shockley, with the Focus Forward Robin Show at the Regina Sunshine Global Network. We're here at 4040 Chapel Hill Road in Douglasville, Georgia today. I've had an amazing show with you guys. Thank you so much for being on this show. It's been great. I love to hear the stories about behind the success. You know, the pit stories, and then how you found your purpose. I love it. So I want you just kind of briefly tell people, because we were talking offset about how, you know, Kelvin goes into, you know, the schools, he's mentors with the kids, and we were talking about Barry, and we were both saying, you know, we see that in you. You know, you're going to end up doing that as well.
Yes.
So you need to get ready, buddy.
God willing.
So, yeah, so if people want to get in touch with you, if they want to have you come speak at the schools, or they want to have you come, you know, speak at events, or if they just want to get some information from you on how they can tap into their creative side, how would they get in touch with you?
You can follow me on Facebook. It's Kelvin K. Chill Harris. That's KELVIN. And also on Instagram, it's K Chill ATL. And you know, email Kelvin W. Harris at Gmail, or Chillzone ENT at Gmail. So holla at your boy. I'm here.
Okay, awesome. What about you, Miss Keisha?
Everything is my name.
Everything's your name. Okay.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Keisha Rivers. That's KEESHARIVERS.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And what about you, Mr. Barry?
So it's Barry Williams, BERRY. On Facebook, Instagram is BREMAR.WILL. And you can hit me by email at zandbx@gmail.com.
Okay, tell us again about the play that's coming up, the location, the time, you know, how people can get tickets.
Yes, the play is based off my best-selling book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, Mama, They Didn't Mean It stage play, February the 29th. That's on a Saturday. And that's 2 shows, 3 p.m. or 6 p.m., your choice. You can get tickets on Eventbrite. Yep.
Okay, awesome. I love it. And guys, how you can get in touch with me, Robin Shockley. I am on Instagram under Robin Shockley, Facebook under Robin Shockley, and the Focus Forward with Robin page on Facebook. And then also my email is r.shockley18@gmail.com. I always accept Cash App. I will let you know my Cash App is Robin Shockley with the $sign. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm always looking for sponsors,
Yeah.
people that want to connect to help other people, you
Right.
know, build their purpose. Because some people, you know, this is what this show's about, is to help people understand that they can get their message told, you know, because people want to know the story, like I said, behind the success. And there's so many people that watch this show around the world, viewers, and, you know, they're confused. They could be stuck. And so we tapped into it a little bit earlier about how, you know, what we can do to focus forward, to get out of that stuck mentality. I would love to ask each one of you one question. Can you say one time that you were stuck in your life? It don't matter how old you were. It could be yesterday, or it could have been 20 years ago. That you were stuck in your life and you chose to step outside of that stuck mentality to focus forward. Can you give us
Any
an
order?
example? Any order, anybody.
When I was pregnant with my son, my senior year, I wanted to go to FAMU and be the first female drum major, because I was drum major my entire high school.
Okay.
So I wanted to do that, but I chose to raise my son. My parents, they offered. I said, no, I'm going to raise my son. And that was the best
how
thing.
old were you?
I was a day before my 18th birthday when I had him.
Really?
Yes.
I love that. My daughter, actually, she had a college scholarship, and she lost that scholarship because she got pregnant.
Right.
And she chose to marry the father, and they had the baby. And she went back to school. He encouraged her to go back to school, and she went back to school to get her degree. And she just a couple of weeks ago got her master's degree.
Yes.
So you know don't ever give up. You know, focus forward, get out of that stuck mentality, and make
right.
that choice. You know, because like you said, your son has been a great advocate for you
Yes.
to tell you how much that you mean
Motivation.
and motivation. I love that. I love that. What about you, Barry?
Stuck. From about 26 to what, 38?
Okay.
Stuck. Addiction.
Yeah.
People think it's easy. It's a disease. I'm here to tell you it's a disease. If it was easy, believe me, we would not deal with it.
Okay.
That mentality had me stuck. But finding that I wanted to be clean and sober has me, getting out of my shell now, and I'm out of that
I love
darkness.
it.
So
I love it. I
Yes.
love it.
Thank you.
Kudos. Yes. What about you, KTL?
Mine was wasn't so much in a physical. I was stuck trying to deal with the pain from my mom and the relationship, and then her passing. So ease the pain. That's what my whole story is coming from with the book and the movie. So I was stuck with this hatred and this
Yeah.
Yeah.
resentment, and I had to ask God to help me ease that.
Right.
So I was stuck, and
Wow.
then I asked for forgiveness, and I've been free. Now that's why my story is going to help so many people,
Yes.
who couldn't cope with it.
That's right.
So,
That's
Amen.
right.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. And in my place of stuckness, that's how Focus Forward Robin was even birthed, because I chose to get out of that stuck mentality. I was in a bad relationship, a secret relationship for many years, and some of it was my doing. Some of it wasn't my
Yeah.
doing. But, something had to break. Something had to give. Kind of like when you said that you were at your point, or your breaking point. And so I was like, I got to choose to either break free out of this cage and learn to fly,
Right.
let God soar me, like an eagle, or either stay caged in for the rest of my life in this secret. And I was like, you know what? I chose to break free. I chose to turn to God and ask Him to help me, because I couldn't do it on my own. And I always felt like I was like in the Bible, Esther. I was like Esther, because Esther chose. She knew it was going to cost her to lose everything. So with that being said, guys, today has been an amazing show. And there's so many of you that could be watching this today, and you could be going through a hard time right now, and you're feeling stuck, and you feel like you've got a pit situation happening right now. Well, these are prime examples of people that have made purpose with their pit. And you know what? Things aren't always perfect, right?
No.
I mean, we're all still going
Absolutely
through issues.
not, right.
We're still going through different issues, pains, and struggles and stuff, but we're choosing to persevere,
Yes.
to press forward, to keep moving, and to not give up. And that's what I love about Focus Forward with Robin, because we want people to come on this show to be transparent, share your life story of why you go through what you go through, and to help that next person. So that's what it's all about. I thank you guys so much
you.
for being a
Thank
part of
you.
my show today. It means a lot to me. It means the world.
Thank you.
Love you guys. This is Robin Shockley with the Focus Forward Robin Show. I'm so excited. We're here at the Regina Sunshine Global Network
Yay,
with
Gina!
Sunshine. Yes. We're in Douglasville. we're at 4040 Chapel Hill Road in Douglasville, Georgia, and this has been a great day. Remember, if you think a thing, you will believe a thing. If you believe it, you're going to achieve it, just like all of us are doing here today. We're out.